Tanje Museum, right on the highway, and a very, very, very interesting things to show about our country, the smiling coast of Africa, the Gambia. Let me take you in and show you the interesting artifacts this particular museum holds. Boom. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
And who am I standing with today?
Mr. Abdullah Bayo.
Mr. Abdullah Bayo.
Yes.
This we are here at the Tanje Museum. This is Mr. Abdullah Bayo. And what is your position here?
I'm the proprietor of this museum. And this museum was built in 1997.
You built it in 1997.
That was when it was open to the general public. You know, and it is the first private museum in this country.
And why did you come up with this idea to build the first private museum?
Also, as you may know, I used to work at the National Museum for many years, about 20 years. And I took up an early retirement to set up this museum, the first private museum in this country. The reason being, you know, when you work for government, there is a lot of bureaucracy. And with my background...
And you don't like the idea of bureaucracy?
No, I don't. I hate it. Because you have an idea. I travel all over the world, in America and Europe. I've got a lot of experience. But when you come, you talk to your boss because he's the boss, he wouldn't listen to you. So at some point, I just got frustrated and said, no, I'm going to do something on my own, where I can do what I want to do.
At your own time?
At my own time, yes, so that you don't have to tell me, you must do this, you must do that. Yeah.
All right, so you think bureaucracy is one of the things that has leave the government work to set up your own private institution. So now when you set up your own private institution, what are the difference between the government and then the private one?
Well, the thing is, Tanje Village Museum is an open-air museum, and it is an ethnographic as well as natural history museum. We divided this place into four parts. We have the Natural History Gallery. That's one, Natural History Gallery, where we exhibit insects, birds, reptiles, Gambian food, Gambian drinks. And the second part talks about our traditional way of life, traditional crafts, such as weaving, tie and dye, batik making, leather work.
All these things you mentioned are done here?
Are done, you'll be able to see them, we'll take you around and you'll be able to see all these areas. And the third one talks about Gambian way of life, more than 150 years ago, where you'll be able to exhibit a traditional Gambian compound that will show you the different types of farming implements, cooking utensils, etc. And not only that, the fourth part deals with nature trail. When I say nature trail, I mean plants. We've got more than 60 different species of plants in the garden. And each of them, 60 different species of plants in the garden. Okay. And all of them are named and numbered. And we have a guidebook that tells you about the use of these plants in traditional medicine, their food values, etc. And I must say, this museum is unique in one...
What makes it unique?
Okay, it's tailor-made for educational programs.
Tailor-made for
educational programs.
What
yes.
do you mean by that?
Well, lot of the things that they teach in schools is just on paper. But when they come here, they'll be able to see it. We have lots of schools.
Very practical.
Very practical. And we have a lot of schools coming here to learn about their culture and environment. And this is very important because, you know, Western education has eroded a lot of our culture. The culture is dying away. And we need to preserve it for the younger generation. Yeah.
Yeah, for educational purpose, historical purpose, and other important things. Yes. Now, another thing that I want to ask you is, how are you able to maintain this place, you know, in terms of finances, in terms of human resources, and other related things?
That's an interesting question. You know, When you come to the museum, you have an entrance fee that people pay. For example, students under 12 years, they used to pay $25 per person, per student. And non-Gambians, they are now paying $200. And Gambians pay $100. And then we also have a small museum shop where we encourage artists to come and sell their things. And when they sell, they give us a little bit of commission. That's what we put together to maintain the place.
Gallery number 2 is natural.
This is the gallery?
Number 2. It's ethnographic and natural history gallery. So on this board tells you all the things that we can see in the gallery here. And it's divided into 5 different sections. We have the map of the Gambia where we look at some historical towns and villages. We also have the wildlife section where you can see skins of different animals. And we also have the other room that tells you our natural insect repellent, local drinks and local food grains that we grow, like the native food crops. And the other room is focused on traditional musical instrument on ethnic wise. And the 5th one also is on wildlife. There we exhibit some animals and their labels, like since in school for their social and environmental studies, they categorize animals in different groups like reptile, mammal, amphibians, and that. So because it's normally there for educating the young ones about the nature and environment.
So what does this board explain?
This one explains about our traditional weaving, where we normally weave our traditional patterns and colors for various ceremonies by different ethnics. And that's the structure they are called the loom. There they used to weave. Yeah. And the small hut there is used to be their workshop where they keep their stuff. Yeah.
Meaning it's not working?
Because all the men are gone. The season is off since the COVID time up to now. We couldn't maintain them to pay them, and they couldn't get any sale because no tourist is coming. As a result, they all left. So this is the museum shop where all the craftsmen, they used to bring their stuff in there. We sell it out for them. Also where museum, at least we can get some income in order to sustain. But since there is no tourists, there is no craftsmen, it means the shop is also closed now. Traditional Gambian compound setup. And there, this compound is divided into 2 because we have the men's quarters and the women's quarters. The entrance is the men's quarters where the father and the young boys live. And the backyard is for the women and small kids and young girls. The reason for that traditional, in those days, in our culture, men and women used to live separately because men are there to protect and defend men and women and the kids in times of war as well. And also in our tradition, as you are matured, you reach to a certain age, after then you will be separated from the woman. So this is the nature trail where we try to sensitize the young ones about the flora and fauna in the Gambia. And where also we got more than 60 different species of trees. Some are used as local medicine, some as local fruits. And also we rely on them for our energy like firewood. Because now if you see now, all our flora and fauna is gone because of deforestation. People chop down these trees for firewood, for charcoal, and they hunt down this animal. So since now it's a pity that we lose all these animals, we managed to put some statues of animals in there to show the kids during their excursion that we should rehabilitate our forests by protecting the environment, and we may also import these things from other countries, have them back.
This place is for the, let's say, the blacksmith. An important caste in our society makes farming implements, jewelry, and weapons for war, and hunting products are for sale. That's the caste system. This one is for the blacksmith. Very interesting. Very interesting.
This one is the hostel that we have 12 rooms that normally tourists can come and say, like, we are encouraging ecotourism as well. And Tanje also is one of the major bird watching reserve area. So for that, tourists can come and be here.
So that's fine, that's great. Now, What are the challenges and difficulties that you faced here? And then why do you think this place is not performing as it used to be, or is not performing to expectation?
You know, we are doing our very best. You know, we are doing our very best. We want them at least, you know, if somebody is doing something, it is always good you encourage the person, tell him, oh, you're doing well, thank you very much. But they're not doing that. They're always...
GT board, Mr. Bayo is saying you have to come and encourage him, and then you have to come and support him. So on behalf of our the director, Mr. Camara, I am personally pleading to you, and please let us come and support Mr. Bayo, and then we put him as part of our budget and sponsor him for the benefit of this country and for the benefit of this particular museum. Thank you all. That's Alhaji Mohammed. Yes.
Thank you. I have something to add to that.
Okay.
What I would like them to do is come around. Let them not leave. You cannot work, you know, permanently in an office. What will encourage you, even if a director comes here and say, oh, Mr. Bayo, we've come to see your place. Just like what you say it's interesting, seeing is believing, but they wouldn't know that it is interesting. Because if they don't come, we want them to come and say, Mr. Bayo, what you're doing is good, keep it up. That will give us more energy, you know, more encouragement, and we'll do our very best. But just sitting there, it wouldn't help. It's not going to help me. It will not help the GT board. It will not help the Ministry of Tourism, and it will not help the government.
It will not help the Ministry of Tourism and Arts and Culture. It will not help the GT board, and it will not help the Gambian people. That's what Mr. Bayo said. Today, we at the Tanje Museum, a very, very interesting place to see. And please, I'm encouraging you, even you are, it's not like tourism is not only limited to white people by our concept, you understand. Even our Africans like Gambians can come here. You can bring your wife, your girlfriends, your sisters, your other friends, you know, to come and see the things that we have in the Smiling Coast. Like we say, the Gambia is the Smiling Coast of Africa. I'm Alhaji Mohammed, and that's all from me.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Thank you.